Sir, could you give us first name, middle initial, last name, and spell for us, please?
Sure. First Lieutenant Morrow E. Mujica-Battle 3rd, Mike, Uniform Juliet, India, Charlie, Alpha, Attack, Papa, Alpha, Romeo, Oscar, Delta, India, the 3rd.
Okay, and the date of the interview is February the 9th, 2008. Location interview, 29 Palms, California, downtown. The unit for this interview will be Lehman Company, 3rd Battalion, 7th Marines Regiment, 1st Marine Division. The interviews will be Yana Wasito and Doug Halapaska. Sir, would you please just kind of give us an idea of the timeline we're going to cover, your rank and bill at that time too, sir?
Sure. Ramadi 1, as we'll dub it, August 05 to March 06, then back at 29 Palms for roughly a year from April to April. During that time was promoted to First Lieutenant in May. Was Weapons Platoon Commander from April until January when I became First Platoon Commander, and then deployed April 07 until November 07 back to Ramadi as a First Lieutenant.
Okay. And we wanted to discuss kind of under the general topic of going native, which we may title one of the chapters, some of the things you did in terms of being animated, even jumping up and down, and some of this was because of your reading and study of Arab culture.
Yeah, you know, we discussed it before. The stoic warrior doesn't quite it doesn't quite have the same impact or the same positive factor as it does in the American military. And so while through previous reading, either through the Air Mine or other cultural publications, we you know, I determined you know, I had to shift a little bit and start acting a little, I don't want to say act more like a civilian, but you know, you do overly animated. I mean, more than I ever would naturally. So, you know, when I first got there with my ridiculously handsome mustache, you know, lots of hugs and kisses. I showed no hesitancy, you know, I which was weird. But, and actually, I mean, I was happy about this, but when I first showed up, I saw the Iraqi army commander who I worked with the time before. So now I have a relationship with this guy that spans over 2 years, which was pretty impressive. So I mean, literally right on the deck, I'm, you know, kind of showing how pleased I am and all that. So, but when
and so this was what date?
In April
of 07.
Yeah, in April of 07.
And what was his name?
Mujica16 Saif was his name. He was of the Iraqi army of the 217 is his unit.
And then how did you greet him?
Lots of hugs, lots of man love, lots of kisses. It was impressive. Slightly awkward, but impressive. But
and you had the same relaxed grooming standards in Ramadi 1?
Yeah. That was more because I like the stash. But then once the Iraqis, because in Ramadi 1 we did live with Iraqis as well, so that was forward thinking as well, and you know, Major Quinn was definitely pushing for that. So you know, the seeds were definitely getting planted in Ramadi 1. We didn't. There it was like a traditional military, we're going to join with this military unit, but even back then that was pretty unconventional to actually live with the Iraqi army. So even there, when I would get to know those guys, and I genuinely enjoyed hanging out with their officers and all that, and so, you know, they'd always play with my mustache and like pulling it, and they thought it was funny, so you know, I liked keeping it. Plus it looked good. But then the second time, like I said, I made my whole platoon grow one.
And then were there other examples that you can remember, specific examples of being animated and being more overt in your
Yeah.
emotions with the Iraqis?
So there was this one time in Thala. It must have been September, because I remember I was fasting, I think. So it was September. It was Thala, and there
You were
was
fasting because it was
Ramadan, and there was a whole segment of town literally flooded because there was another project off to the east that blocked all the sewage pipes. So my area was completely flooded. And it actually wasn't my area. It was creeping into my area, but it was actually right on the border. It was Sharika's area, but what's the matter? I mean, it's a problem. It's got to be fixed. So I went out there and I went on a patrol, and I got pretty furious, and I got, you know, I'm you know, visibly screaming at my Marines. You know, why is this here? Like, I want this gun. I'm not happy about this, because the people are looking at me and they're asking me, why isn't this gun gone? So I'm now blowing up about this, and the Colonel Adnan wasn't out there with me, but another Iraqi police officer was out there with me. So when I went back, we did a debrief, and we said, you know, this is a absolute tragedy. This needs to get fixed now. I'm very unhappy. And by now, I had enough wasta with the locals and with the Iraqi police to where they didn't like seeing me upset. And so,
what's wasta?
Social capital is pretty much what it would translate into. But so the next day, literally, it was gone, and Colonel Adnan was literally out there. He got 2 trucks. Sewage trucks, pumped it all up, and it was gone. It was gone, and the problem was fixed. So that project would have cost Coalition, you know. I'm sure, had it been some people, it would have cost about $10,000, but, you know, it got done for free just because we showed great displeasure in it, and we had done enough in the front end. You know, it's not like we were freeloading. This trick doesn't work always, but you give some, they give some. They want to show that they too have power to fix problems. So
we've discussed, you know, two examples of you know, kind of adapting to the local levels of emotion, shall we say, in April and then in September. And then I wanted to see if you could describe in some detail an incident in which you had a 12.7 millimeter machine gun pointed at you, along with another lieutenant, and, you know, set the stage and what happens.
Yeah, sure. We were in a meeting, and we were in a sync meeting where all the A-team commanders get together with Captain Mines, and we were, you know, just talking about progress and where we were going. And Lieutenant Bradley leans in. He comes in the room and he says, by the way, he looks at me and says, and he goes, your IPs are about to kill each other. He goes, I'm not joking. So we immediately jump up, and Sace is obviously more intelligent than I am, as he went to get his flak. I did not. So I went out there and literally crossed the threshold of just looking outside, and Muqaddam Hamid was there,